You know, one of the biggest things I've learned from social media, ladies and gentlemen, and maybe you'll agree with me, is the fact everybody now just thinks they're the victim. I'm oppressed. It's only my feelings that matter. And if you or I offend those feelings, well, firstly, we're evil. We should be cast aside from society and snapped out of existence. When really these people need to be doing some self-reflection, some well-needed self-reflection. Just stare in the mirror for a couple of hours, and after those couple of hours, I think you'll come to the realization that it's not only your feelings that matter on this planet. But instead of doing that, well, what do? They turn on the camera, they cry, they complain in the hope somebody out there in this world validates their feelings, justifies their feelings, even though they may be completely in the wrong. I'm sure you've all seen this video we're going to be reacting to today. We have another case of a man who is now a trans woman walking in to the women's toilets, and the women around him having a problem with that, a justified problem. But this man seems to think he's in the right and everybody else is in the wrong. All these women that have the concern, they're in the wrong because it's only my feelings that matter and I should only be accommodated to, nobody else. I'm not going to speak anymore because we have a lot to discuss regarding this video, but I want you to sit back, relax, and take a listen.
Well, this is just lovely. I had a neighbor confront me for using the women's restroom. I lived here for 4.5 years. Everyone should know that I'm a trans woman. I've always been known as Kaylee. I've always used she, her pronoun. I've been having some stomach issues because of Trulicity, and I had to use the bathroom real quick, and they're single-use bathrooms, and it's the only place that I feel safe using the women's bathroom. Well, I got done and got out, and this neighbor was talking to another neighbor and started pointing out the sign. I knew exactly what she was talking about because there's a big old woman sign. And I'm like, is there a problem? She's like, yeah, you're using the woman's restroom. You're a man. And I said, I'm a trans woman. She's like, no, you're a man. And she kept saying that over and over. And she kept saying, you're not a she, you're a he. You shouldn't be using it. You were born a man. And just over and over. And honestly, I just lost it. And just started screaming and swearing. I just couldn't handle it. This is my home. This is my safe place. I should be able to use the restroom. The apartment manager knows I'm trans. Everyone knows my name is Kaylee. And then my group of friends that I thought my friends were all starting to yell at me saying I escalated, and because she had 2 kids. I didn't even see the kids. They were there and I just lost it. Fight, flight, or freeze, and I fought. You don't know what it's like to be a trans person. And then my one friend started yelling at me, and none of them stood up for them. They blamed me that I was the one that was at fault. When none of them stood up to me when this person kept calling me he, she, he, man, like triggering and awful. Like, I deal with enough on here. Like, my apartment should be a safe place. There's nothing safe for a trans person. There is nothing safe for a trans person. This is the life. And it fucking sucks. And even when you have your friends who don't have your back. And then my one friend, Annette, just started screaming at me. And I'm like, start screaming back at her. I'm done. These are fair weather friends. These are not the friends that I need, want, and deserve. And if I can't find it here, I will find it elsewhere. So, I don't know. I'm so fucking triggered and feeling so awful. Like, I just want to die. It fucking sucks. Here's what the men's and women's groups. So they're single-use bathrooms. So you can see there's the men's. Here's the women's. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing, right, when you sit here and think about it. I've personally never understood this whole process of recording a video, almost crying or crying, then editing that video and still uploading it. And throughout that whole process, nothing clicked within you to say, maybe, you know what, we shouldn't be uploading this video. Maybe that's me being too mean. Who knows? But this, we've all seen it before, right? We've seen these classic things before. They misgendered me. They used the wrong pronouns. They called me a he instead of a her. Oh, how dare they speak the truth? How dare these women speak the truth? A lot of truths this person just couldn't accept, which is probably the big reason behind this video, right? And a big reason behind a lot of these videos, because truths get told and these people can't handle it, so they react in an emotional way. And I'm kind of glad these neighbors were still able to voice their concerns, even though being friends with this person for so long, because sometimes it can warp the truth, right? And you get scared to speak out because you don't want to offend them. You've been friends with them for so long. You don't want to lose that friendship. But I'm kind of glad, you know, they stood up for themselves, because I think more people need to be doing that. This man and his feelings are the only ones that need to be recognized, apparently. You know, if your valid concerns go against somebody's feelings, and those feelings especially are underneath the umbrella of woke progressive ideology, then they really don't want to hear it. I understand these are single-use bathrooms, right? Women's bathrooms are your safe space. But I imagine if you're using single-use women's bathrooms, you're also using the public ones. I know I'm not allowed to assume, but I'm going to do it anyway. But in this case, if these are single-use bathrooms, why couldn't you just use the male bathroom? Because nobody can get in. It's just you. Oh, right, yeah, it's only you that matters, apparently. The issue of changing rooms and bathrooms is becoming a big thing for a lot of people, women especially, and men. Yes, men are allowed to worry about these situations because a lot of the time they have women they know going into these bathrooms. Women aren't used to men going into their bathrooms, whether they claim to be a woman or not. It's not a thing they're supposed to get used to. I always say, right, if this was a man not claiming to be a woman and he just walked into a bathroom, there would be so much uproar, justifiable uproar, as there should be. But if you then identify as a woman, then people just have to accept it. You know, certain situations can arise if you allow this to happen. I'm not saying every trans woman that walks into a woman's bathroom is going to do harm. That would be stupid of me to say, but the situation can arise. And is it not better to not take that risk than just to allow it in the name of inclusion and progressive ideology? Maybe that's too mean of me to say again, but I think a lot of common sense needs to be used here. And there'll be people in the comment section, and I've seen it more and more, right? When you guys leave a comment saying, thank you for standing up for women, okay? There'll be people replying to you saying, well, he doesn't care about women. Okay, I'm just saying common sense, really. I know that offends you. But I'll just say now, am I going to attend a feminist march? No. Do I think modern day feminism is harming men? Yes, it has harmed men. But I do recognize as a man, you have to be concerned about women's safety in all realms. I know you don't recognize that because you stand for everything, right? And it's funny, these very same people will say, oh, we all care about women's safety. All men are bad. Until it's somebody claiming to be a woman, then they suddenly don't care because it's progressive. It's stunning. It's brave. It's funny how that one works, isn't it? You know, I sit here and I say the stuff I say, and I've never really said this before, but I sit here and I say the stuff I say not only because, well, firstly, it's common sense, but because I'm a man that doesn't stand for everything, right? What you get in society now is a load of weak emotional men who just stand for everything, right? Because not only do they think it's cool, it's progressive, they're scared of people not liking them if they disagree with what's going on. Oh, if I don't agree with this, people aren't going to like me. I do not care about that. I honestly don't. I say the stuff I say because it needs to be said and we need to bring common sense back in society. And the second reason is, I think about the future. I know we're all about short-term happiness for potential long-term pain, but I'd like to think in the future. So if I have a daughter, because it's more than likely I will have a daughter, I have more women in my family, I think about, well, what if my daughter goes into the toilets or the changing rooms and there's a dude in there? How that can affect her. When you think about that situation, I think your mind slowly starts to turn, right? Because that is a scary situation for any girl, young girl, and woman. I don't think they should be in that situation. So if that makes me evil and a bigot, etc., then so be it. I don't care. There are too many cases of these videos appearing, and in my opinion, one case is too much. You can search, you can find these videos so easily now. Twitter, TikTok, it doesn't take long. But we're told, right, this is what you're told. You're supposed to feel sorry for the person that's crying. And 99.9% of the time, the person that is crying is in the wrong. But you're told you're supposed to feel sorry for them. Oh, their feelings are so hurt. Let's all feel sorry for him. Even though the women around him had justifiable concerns, nobody listens to those because it hurts somebody's feelings. Oh, they're so evil. They're bigots. Don't listen to them. As I said, if you have justifiable concerns and they go against an ideology, well then, don't bother because nobody will listen. How does that work? How does that one work? It's like we're going past this line and we're not going back. We've got rid of all boundaries now. I genuinely thought there'd be a point we reach and we'll decide to go back. But from what I'm seeing, it just seems like it gets pushed and pushed and pushed. And they go further and further and further. You've heard me say it before. You give people an inch, they'll then want to take a mile. That's just how it works. And because we have to accept everything, everybody's now scared to voice their opinions. It's a very strange society we're living in, ladies and gentlemen, isn't it? If you have enjoyed today's video, then please, for me, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that big red subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Please, for me, make sure to always have a great day and stay safe. I'm out. Peace. See you next time.